Greetings, this is Vane and welcome back to Let's Play Planescape Torment, okay? Let's have a look. Evergreen Ignoring, okay. See a scaled fiend who looked very similar to the one standing next to him. In addition to the pierced left ears, both are acute and reptilian, with bat wings tucked against themselves. This one is missing a tooth on its right side. Ah, Turkeen, it says, our old friend has returned to pay us a visit. So he has, Applegate, so he has. His eyes do not gleam like they once did. What do you suppose brings him back to us? What does bring you back to us, friend? Who are you? Ah, Applegate, time has robbed our companion's memory. You honestly do not recall us, do you? Truly I am aggrieved. But as am I, Torment, truly aggrieved, yet our rest easy. It has, after all, been many hundreds of years, and we know how the minds of mortals tend to dissipate with age. So we've been doing this for a very long time. Ah, well spoken, old friend. We are a pair of Abishai in need from our current assignments in Baldur. I am Tigarin the Thrice Damned, so named for my ability to find the best in every situation. This is Ethelgrim, who has earned himself no special name, no, not for lack of trying. Lack of trying, what do you mean? Ethelgrim ignores you as it responds to your companion, and once again Tigarin, you have cut straight to the truth of the matter. Though perhaps it's best not to have earned the sort of notice one bearing the name Thrice Damned must surely have incurred. I had some other questions. In turn, Tefgurin ignores you as it replies to its comrade. Once again, I maintain that any notice is better than no notice at all. The Abishai turns back to you. Old friend, does this answer your question as to our identities? I suppose it will have to. I'll have some other questions. Some questions, perhaps we have answers. We are certainly eager to aid an old friend. What are you doing? What are we doing? Why is it not perfectly clear, old friend? We are on leave from our beloved assignment, taking for ourselves a much needed rest and perhaps introducing some additional recruitment to our glorious cause. Our superiors fully support our presence, to be sure. In a more immediate sense, we are taking our entertainment in this delightful establishment, and of course, we are celebrating the return of our old friend. However, the stench of the breezes, which occasionally waft the scent of goodness in the door, debases us somewhat, leaving us physically, mentally and spiritually weaker. Fortunately, the air in this ward of the city carries a little tang of pain and supplication. Wouldn't you agree? Again, the fiend-born smiled at you. I have some other questions. What is this place? This is the Smouldering Corpse Tavern, one of the more entertaining taverns your kind has seen fit to erect in this city. The poetic justice of the burning fellow at the front of the establishment is quite a fine touch. Was there something else you wish to ask? Let's hide other questions. Tell me about fiends. As I see it, there are two kinds of fiends. Those who are correct and those who are not. Outside, that of the Beta Zoo is correct. The other side, that of the cursed, hated, chaotic Tenari, is incorrect and must be exterminated. We hold the Tenari directly responsible for the Blood War. Were it not for them, we could have settled the lower planes in peace and wouldn't have all the bother of fighting this wretched war, nor would the unfortunate spillovers into the other planes be such a cause for concern among the namby-pambying of do-gooders. The Tenari are directly to blame for the multiverse's sad state of affairs. That's not really what I was asking. I wanted to know what differentiates you from them. The fiend pauses for a moment and brightens. Ah yes, you see, we represent law and order. Those who break the law must be punished. We have no law, we are only anarchy. And surely you can see that anarchy has done for the abyss. It has spawned horrors beyond imagining. Any excesses the Betazoo state may have indulged in is simply to counter the rising tide of chaos as represented by the Tenari. We mean no harm to anyone, we just prefer to understand where the Baldur are. I see, I had some other questions. Do you know a collector named Farod? Farod, I have heard of the name. Is he not a sage of some sort? A necromancer? or is he a diviner of rubbish? I have heard of him, friend, but do not have the pleasure of his company. Perhaps one of the other patrons here can help you. Perhaps I answer other questions. I'm looking for a journal. I keep no journals, friend, and I counsel you should not either. Ask my dear comrade Tigarin why, and you shall receive enlightenment. Very well, Tigarin, why should I not keep a journal? Because, friend, it's easy to make the mistake of committing a true word to posterity, and easier still for someone you once trusted, and he shoots a glance full of venom at Ethelgrin, to find that word and use it against you. Indeed, it can even lead to action tantamount to desertion. Leaving or losing a journal can cost you your very existence. I see, I've had some questions. Nothing, farewell. So yeah, they're deserters from the Blood Wall. Smouldering Corpse patron. This is a slightly balding man with a cynical cast to his face. He speaks in a staccato voice, rapping out each word distinctly and clearly. What do you want, Cutter? Who are you? I am Kalen Iron Toes. Before you ask, I got the name because my idiot brother dropped a 50-pound stone on my feet and crushed my toes. Now I have iron toes. Alright, I suppose. Answer some private questions, will you? I'm looking for a journal. I haven't seen one, at least not one that stuck out in my mind. If it wasn't valuable, try the trash mounds on the opposite side of the hive. I sympathise with your plight. Journals are the very essence of identity. They keep us aware of our past and help us plot our future paths. I always keep a journal myself, and I find I'm a better person because of it. He says this last with self-satisfied relish. You're not kidding. Answering some other questions. I'm looking for a collector by the name of Farron. Have you seen or heard of him? A collector, isn't that one of those nasty dead haulers? Don't associate with that type. This isn't my ward, really. So no, I've never heard of him. What is your ward? I live in the Ladles ward with my uncle. Generally better class of person there, if I must say myself. None of that riff-raff that you see floating around here so much. No, I'd say that coming to this area is definitely slumming. Can't say that I enjoy it, but then I'm told one should experience a wide variety of life's offerings. I'm just about done with this one. Ladies will have very well answer some questions. What can you tell me of this place? This is the Smouldering Corpse. I have brought my greenhorn clawless pine cousin here to see some of the sights, the smells, the sounds of Sigil's beauties. So far, she remains unimpressed. I can see why. Can you tell me something else? Who is that burning by the entryway? Chant has it the unfortunate goes by the name of Ignis burned down a portion of the hive before folks got together and took care of him. They made it in a conduit to the elemental plane of fire, and now it has to arrive there for folks' amusement. Not too amusing, but interesting, certainly. Certainly is. Can you tell me something else? What was that you and your friend were saying about Sigil? My cousin, who stresses the word as if to emphasise that it has no choice in his acquaintance, has recently come here from a backwater playing well. My uncle, a renowned wizard, brought her here to expand her horizons. She labours under the illusion that this is the centre of the multiverse, and she thinks it's somehow important. Since I've lived here my whole life, I know otherwise. It's a place when powers and plain-born overlook, just as humans overlook their squirrels in their city parks. It's not important that a human comes to realise that. They're not important, the better off they'll be. Really? I'd have to hear some justification. In the meantime, can you answer some other questions for me? Nothing. Good day. Okay, this is a young woman of far-off pastoral face. She's not exactly young, nor is she exactly old. Perhaps it's the expression of slight disbelief that sets her across her features. The expression says that she doesn't believe her senses. When she focuses on you, she speaks sharply, but not angrily. Do you need something? Who are you? I'm Curious Thorntongue. I'm here with my cousin because my uncle doesn't want me wandering the hive on my own. Doesn't seem to think I'm competent on my own. You may be right. I don't know this city or this plane very well. I'm not from here. I'm from the Prime. The Prime? What's that? She cocks her head and looks at you oddly. The prime material plane, the place where the belief of the outer planes are shaped of is born. The world, stars, moons, and so forth, belief in reality. I sure hope you know that what the plane is, because it's an essential part of planar knowledge. I knew that. I have questions. I'm looking for a journal. Sorry, I'm new in town and I can assure you I haven't seen anything that I'd recognise as a journal. Though I'm told that something that appears to be a person could in actuality be the journal for some other creature. I'm still trying to get my head around the philosophy here. It's a little overwhelming, but they say if you stick with it, it becomes much easier. Thanks for relief, I'd like to get some answers for you. I'm looking for a collector named Farrell. Have you seen or heard of him? A collector? I don't believe I've heard the term. She pauses, collecting. Is that one of those hoarders of the dead? The poor folk who collect the hives of innumerable victims for money. Yes. From what I understand, they mostly congregate in the areas of the hive that are further from the mortuary, where there is more life and more violence. Your best bet might be to concentrate your search away from the house of the dead. I might just do that. First, I'd like to another question for you. What can you tell me about this place? This is, I understand, the Smouldering Corpse Tavern, named after the fellow near the entrance. From what I can see, it's a dive where scum mixes with cream to create an entirely unappetizing new flavour. Of course, being from the Prime, my perceptions might be jaundiced. You're from the Prime? What are you doing here? Visiting, expanding my horizons. The Prime is a prime place to live, but it's a little too real, I suppose. My uncle gives each of his nieces and nephews a few years in the plains, allows us to remain here if we so desire. I think I might so desire. I'm fascinated and repelled, but then I suppose that's the nature of the place, isn't it? As I understand it, yes. Do you have enough knowledge to give me some answers? Who is that burning by the entryway? That is Ignis, who attempted to burn down a portion of the city sometime back, centuries, and was punished by being turned into a living flame. A nasty fate, but fitting for a known pyromantic and maniac and arsonist. From what I have read, it is best to leave him well alone. I do know so much about this. Aren't you a Prime? The uncle Celia and I share is a wizard who makes his home here. He brings his relatives to the plains on occasion to show them the delights and horrors of the multiverse. I wanted to be sure I was ready on the trips, and so I prepared myself extensively. I probably know more about the city than my cousin who's lived here his entire life. Guess there's disparity of the man nearby. It's quite an uncle. Can I ask more questions? What was that you and your friend were saying about Sigil? He's not my friend, but he's my cousin. He was just telling me that this isn't the centre of the multiverse, despite being located smack in the middle of the Outlands, despite it being a focal point of portals from all over the cosmos. There isn't a known place with more, despite all the quarrying gods do over it, despite the sheer variety of concentration of power that accumulates here. There is no place like this in the cosmos, and it's telling me it's nothing special. That's an interesting perspective. Perhaps you both have elements of truth. Perhaps you're correct, but I find that such relativism is often beyond me. Either the place is important or it's not. Paradox may fill the planes, but there must be a sense to it somehow. Not necessarily. I haven't time to argue this right now. Instead, I'd like to ask more questions. Nothing today.
All right.
Mokai. She's someone dressed as a female dustman with a half-empty glass in her hand. As you near her, she calls out to you, you, over here. You notice that there's something wrong about her, and your exposure to the dustman leads you to believe that she is just too lively to be a real member of the faction. Approach her. Hey, Cutter, buy a lady a drink. You're not really a dustman, are you? She looks around nervously and seems to sober up. Why do you say that? Because you don't act like a dusty and you're not offering contracts. In fact, you're taking money in instead of giving it out for that corpse lady they do at the mortuary. He stifles a squeak for terror and hastens to explain. No, I am not a dustman. I just found these robes in the street and I haven't enough money to get good clothes, and I heard there was a dustman thief around here. You could probably find him somewhere else in the southwest part of the hive. I saw him, but I hid from him. Please don't hurt me. I'm not planning on it. You ought to know that you're not pulling it off too well. Now answer some questions. What do you want to know? Barker says it's time for you to settle your tab. Pay up. She jumps a little, and her nerves pressure becomes full-fledged anxiety. What are you going to do? Ask you to go pay up. Now. I can't afford it. If you can spot me just 10%, I'll give it to him, and he knows I'll pay the rest. How much do you need? I think about 100 coins to get started on that debt. Can you think of another solution? Another way to pay? You could always kill me. Okay. True, I'd lend you the money, but I don't have it. Ask some other questions first. Who are you? What do you want to know? Who are you? Me, I'm Morte. I just like to drink here and use a train of thought moment. I'm just a person, you know. I see. Answer something else for me then. What is this place? Smouldering Corpse Tavern. Can't you read? You more bobbed up than I am. Forget it. Something else. Well, tell me about the other patrons here. I don't know. They're just people. I don't deal much with people. Unless they're buying me a drink. She looks at you hopefully. I see. Give me some other answers. Who's the burning corpse? He's not a corpse, he's some crazy wizard. Ask around, they'll tell you the story. Very well then, answer some other questions. Nothing, farewell. Okay, so, and I believe that's, look, that's everyone in the Smouldering Corpse. We will be back to sort out that deck, so but we've got deck on with us, which is important because it means that our experience is divided by 3 or rather than 2, so we can carry on hoovering up experience.
Begging to be kicked. These stinkers. You blathering idiot.
Barking wilder, we missed you on the way round. This wild man is hunched over, snarling and giving no growls. Looks like he hasn't trimmed his hair in the ears. So long it forms a veil over his eyes. He has a long stringy moustache, caked with grease and sweat, and the tips of his moustache drooped so much that they had become tangled in his ragged beards. Greetings. The man stops in mid-snow and he reaches up to part the curtain of hair that covers his eyes. As his withered hand pulls away his dirty locks, several strange, puce-coloured bugs fell from his hair and scattered across the cobbles. Beside the cloak of hair, the man's flesh is pale-coloured and creased with wrinkles. Thick, bushy eyebrows form as free as he stares at you. And may take the moon fly too. Okay. Not today, I had some questions. The man nods his head eagerly, then claps his hand like a child. Answer split with half blues oil. No, self your quest, shun. At the end of this, he gives a long, warbling howl, cut with a short bark. But calm down, I had some questions for you. The man throws back his head and howls. It is such a terrible sound that you're forced to cover your ears. Even that isn't enough. As you cover your ears, the howl seems to grow into a shrieking, drilling into your head, slipping inside your eyes, burrowing beneath the skin, then crawling along the inside of your skull and eating the shreds of your sanity. The sound is so unbearable you can't even muster the strength to speak. You turn away, leave the man be. Well, that's one tree with a snap branch too many. Morte rolls his eyes. No sense in chatting with Chaos X. Chief, they're a barmy bunch. Zeus X? They're a faction who don't have any rules, except don't keep one thought in their head for too long. They're sometimes called Chaos Men. No need to explain why. How do they get members? They just seem to attract members like fires. Well, members that are crazy and chaotic enough, I suppose. I don't think they have any recruiters, although you really can't say anything for them about them for sure. I see. Thanks for the information. I'm going to talk to you again. Okay, let's growl at him. The man stops missing and reaches up to part of the care. Okay. Moons, noom. The man frowns and his eyebrows tilt upward in a reverse V, creating a bizarre expression. You have no idea how accomplished the space of the him makes you uncomfortable watching the marks beneath the shapes of the new pattern. You can't tell whether he's angry, curious, both, or neither. Sing Kissbeak, a man. Answers prefer a wood woman heart. Single man, chiggle man, through the forest they go, wood woman's heart never apart and laughing in the snow. Man seems mesmerised with your voice. With every word you speak, a light flickers in his eyes. Barking wilder, am I? I am. I want in asking may you may. You may and I will. Are you one of the Chaos Men? Chaos. He stutters out the word as if having some difficulty getting his tongue around it. Some say Zeus, I say Esectizox. Chaos Men. Men know. Them know. Men yes. Three no's make a yes. He hunches down on his knees and begins to rock back and forth, singing in a childlike soprano. Chaos Men, Chaos Men, pop along home. A faction it is, yet we are alone. So you're one of the Chaos Men. Farewell. Had some other questions. He claps his hand delightedly at like a child at a festival and gives a howling shout. Question. May I join the Chaos Men? He looks at you askance, damps, and then shrugs sniffing. Swift, blank, damp, tramp, cod. He snorts and grabs himself a sod. I suppose that would be a no. Farewell, I had some other questions. I'm looking for a man named Farrell. Do you know of him? Barking Wilder shrugs, then responds in a sing-song voice. Farrell, not fair, not odd, lost not, help not. He grows to himself as if it goes. Maybe you lose him first, then ask me, then fair odds it will be. To lose him, I'd have to find him first. I'm looking for a lost Jonah. Do you know where I might find one? He frowns, squints his eyes shut, and then opens them back again. When he speaks, his voice is level and straightforward. It's like a different sane person is speaking. The effect is eerie. More than one lost, more than one must you find. Each part of you had one, so more than one must you find. He blinks and shakes his head for a moment as if surprised himself, and then chuckles uneasily. Can you tell me where at least one of them is?
Updated my journal.
He looks like he is about to object, and suddenly his left fist comes up and smacks him in the temple. He howls in response, and suddenly stops blinking. One is in the cupboard of your guest room in the hall of the Senates, and another is on the walls of a tomb still deep beneath the city, where the stones weep. The others are. Before he can finish, his right fist comes up and smacks him in the face, causing him to yell again. He blinks and shakes his head for a moment, as if surprised himself, then smiles uneasily. Hall of the Senates? Where's that? Barker holds up and he just seemed to recall what you said. You said one was in a sarcophagus between the city. Where? I looks frightened for a moment and then points upward. There? Gulps. He doesn't seem to know. For some reason you believe him. Where are those other journals you mentioned? Barking Wilder shrugs, watching you warily. Other places, maybe. I had some other questions. No asking today. Farewell. One tree with snap branch to many. I think it remembers. Information. Okay. Get through these bandages quick.
Okay.
Done.
Stupid Yabo. I'm gone.
Okay. Skiff turns to face you as you approach. Like Dakon, he has a yellow castor skin with a gaunt frame. His clothing is a curious blend of sharp-eyed cop colours and dull mustang browns. The gift's dead black eyes flicker over to Dakon and then you. Greetings. The man ignores you and turns to Dakon instead. He speaks several cleat words in a low tone which you can't understand. His expression doesn't change as he speaks, nor does he make any hand motions, so you can't even hazard a guess at what he's saying. Dakon replies with an arrow flight of words in much the same tongue, and the gifts array falls silent. What's he saying, Dakon? The gifts array turns to you, speaks, and then turns back to Dakon and speaks again, this time at great length. Dakon replies, it sounds like the same arrow flights of words before. The gifts array falls silent. Dakon says something else, and the gifts array responds with another lengthy string of words. Dakon, can you ask him some questions for me? Dakon turns to the gifts array and speaks, this time at a slower, more measured pace than before. The gifts array replies a short one. What did he say? Your words are known to me. The gifts array interrupts. Face me and speak your mind. I will hear you. Very well. I have some questions. Kali journey. I'm sorry? Your question is a stab in the dark. Questions. An arrow without direction. His forehead wrinkles. The answer to this question would fill the mind of an animal. There's no time for such an answer. Tell me plainly what you wish to know. Let me be more specific then. Can you tell me about the Lady of Pain? It is said she is queen of this city, and mine is not known to me. I had some other specific questions to you about the city. I seek someone named Farrell. Do you know of him? That one is not known to me. I have some other specific questions. I've lost a journal. Have you seen one? That object is not known to me. I have some other specific questions. Can you tell me about Dakon? He walks with you. His forehead. How is it not known to you? I was hoping you could tell me something about him. He is not speechless. You would know him, put the question to him. Do not insult his work by treating mine as a statue. Never mind, there are some other specific questions for you. Can you tell me where the city is located? The city touches all places. What do you mean? The city is a cage with many doors. Each door touches another place. Why do you call the city a cage? Any structure with locked doors is a cage. Locked doors? Every door in this cage is locked. Every door has its own key. Only then may you leave. Where are these doors located? Everywhere. They number as many of the places as they touch. I don't understand. It is difficult to understand. It is not difficult to accept. Where do the doors you speak of lead? Doors to this cage lead everywhere. Every plane, every world. I had some other specific questions about the city. Can you tell me where I might find work? There is little work here. You can hunt rats for bounties, or you can gather the dead. Bounties on rats. The city pays for rat tails. You take them to one of their vermin control offices. What was that other job you mentioned? Gathering the dead. Many die every night in this city. Take the dead to the man of dust. They will buy the body. The dustmen will pay for the dead. Why? The men of dust care for the dead. They perform last rites on each corpse. Alright, go on. Many die. The men of dust cannot gather them all themselves. They do not want the dead to remain in the streets. They pay others to bring them the dead. I had some other specific questions. Can you tell me what there is of interest around here? You are not known to me. What is interesting to you may not interest me. I'm interested in work. We've done that one. Some other specific questions. I have no more questions. Farewell.
What is your will?
Dagon turns to you, his eyes in like polished coal. His blade moves his eye for a moment as you address him. He nods you. What is your will? There are things that I would know, Dagon. I had some questions about the gifts array. Okay. I had some questions on the gifts array language. Can you teach me the ways in which your people speak? Know that speech of the people has its foundation in history. All things are a story to us. Metaphor is a tool and inspiration to the strength. Know that when we speak of Torig's table, we remember that Torig was noted for his hospitality and goodwill. We speak of Salkrant's heart, we recall the lecherous and cruel nature of Salkrant. I understand what you teach.
Updated my journal.
Dakon teaches you some of the common forms of speech. The wise man is said to have wrote the Book of the Anarchs, while accusing other treasons to remember Vilquar's eye. It is said people that their cupboards are of generous people that their cupboards are bare. Common greetings include Hal Swordbringer and Zerkai's Kindle to you, to which one should bond, and the traveller is pleased. Dakon is a skilled teacher. After his instructed full vocabulary, exchanging proper greetings with other gifts array. I had some other questions about gifts array. Okay. Gifts array language, which is acclaimed drowning. Know that when acclaimed drowning is spoken, the speaker is telling you the answer to your question will serve no purpose. Know that it carries the unspoken intent that the question should be shaped so it is more specific. What is acclaimed? Upon our home plane of limbo, we must shape the plane with our minds, or the chaos of the plane will devour us. Carla was one of the people who did not know herself. A time came upon her when she lost herself in the chaos matter of the plane. She knew not how to return to a community, so she escaped to a small island with her thoughts and waited. She waited and waited. She met a traveller swimming through the limbo sea. Callie is said to have called out to the traveller and asked her way home. Only one question she have asked. Know you the way to my home? Yet she asked, what know you of the plane? Traveller knew much, and much of what she said was new to her. Her questions grew, feeding upon the answers until she knew not where she was, and knew not that she must maintain focus. The small island she had shaped dissolved into chaos matter, and she drowned. It's a lesson that tells the harm of asking about purpose. Yeah. Understood, let's move on. I'm going to get that out of the way. I don't think there's anything else we want to do yet.
What is your will?
Things that I will know, I don't want to talk about teachings. I want to ask you about our travels. Can you tell me about this city of Sigil? See, that doesn't know itself. There are things I would know. Travels. Do you know a man named Farod? Lost journal. That's all I wish to know. Okay. Go to Tells. Yeah. This is Fell's tattoo parlor.
I'm gone.
Human skin has been stitched across these wooden frames. The skins are covered with tattoos. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
You see a Dabus, but something about its structure is odd. There's the same shock of white hair, same greenish cast to its skin, the same pair of goat horns. Then you suddenly realise that this one is walking on the ground, not floating. For some reason that makes you uneasy. Dakon, let's see. Dakon, can you translate for me? Dakon nods. Ask him who he is. As you're about to ask, you suddenly realise you already know the Davis's name. His name is Fel. As if in response, Dabble inclines his head slightly, and a lone symbol appears above its head. It is blurry at first, then resolves into a white oval with black lightning bolt through it. What did he say, Dakon? He is known as Fel. I had another question I wanted to ask him. Ask him what this place is. A small train of tattoos materialise around Fel's head. The symbol takes several moments to resolve, startling with simple lines, then fleshing themselves into the breathtaking colours. This is where I tattooed colour and life upon flesh and bone. What did he say, Dakon? He places pictures on flesh here. Tattoos. I had another question I wanted to ask him. Feels like I know you, Fel. Fel bows reverently, and a stream of symbols swirls around his head, rotating clockwise. Then a counterclockwise. It takes you a moment to translate. This is the first time and not the first time you have come to this place. What did he say, Dakon? He has split his speech with a contradiction. Dakon pauses for a moment. His black eyes swimming across it. He says it is the first time you have come to him. He says it is not the first time you have come to him. Does he know who I am? Another series of symbols materialise quickly and sharply into focus above Fel's head. Translation comes to you just as quickly and sharply as the symbols themselves, and as if you have translated the exact same string many times before. Yes, but I'm not permitted to tell your story. What did he say? You are known to him, but he cannot tell you what you want to know. Why not?
Updated my journal.
For a moment there is no response from Fel, then a stream of rebuses appear as if trickling out of Fel's mind. My apologies, I cannot change the nature of a man. You can't explain why, but the last sentence sends a crawling sensation through your skull. What did he say? In place of answer, he surrenders an apology for his silence. Dakon pauses for a moment, and when he speaks again, his words are like ice. He says that he cannot change the nature of a man. As Dakon repeats these words, you feel terrible pressure in your head that fades with the last words. I had another question that I wish to ask him. Okay. What are those frames in the back room, Fel? Caravan train of symbols slowly materialise around Fel one by one. It is my gallery. Your discarded skins are my canvas. I admire you. I am saddened for you. What did he say, Dakon? This is his gallery. He says he knows you as his canvas. He shows respect for your strength with his admiration. Dakon is silent for a moment. Then he insults you by giving you his pity. His pity? Another caravan of symbols forms around Fel, this time forming a circle. The mark of torment lies upon your flesh. Tragedy and loss have built themselves upon it, like stones upon a foundation. You have endured great pain. What did he say, Dakon? He pities you for the scars torment has left upon you. He says you have endured, and enduring you have grown strong. What does he mean? A long string of rebuses appear past Fel's head, then surrounds his arms like manacles. I admire you because you have never surrendered to the weight of his losses, despite the fact that chains hang on you still. What did he say, Dakon? He says his admiration is known through your enduring and loss. He says loss hangs upon you like chains, yet you stand and walk. Ask him to go on. A long string of rebus appears past Fel's head, then falls, covering him like a cloak. He's lost his blanket, this life, and all of your past ones. You shed lives like a molten serpent. You are exploring the infinite paths of life. What did he say? He says loss covers this life and all the ones you have come before. He says you molt like a serpent, leaving these lives behind you as you walk all of life's paths. Does he say anything else? A long string of ridges appears above Fel's head, then falls silently to the floor, streaming out behind him like a shadow. Take with you this warning. Each of your life casts a shadow on existence. You must travel to a place where these shadows have gone mad and regrets have scarred the earth. What did he say, Dakon? He would have you know this warning. Each of your lives casts a shadow of existence. Your path will take you to a place where shadows do not know themselves and the walls are made of regrets. I see. Does he say anything else? Brief series of paper, thin rebuses appear in an orderly row next to Phil, then vanish. Glowing motes. Do not sign anything. What did he say? He says not to sign anything. Very well, I mean, I'll have to try to sign anything more than I already have. Another series of rebuses appear, forming a spiral. They have the texture of a question about them. Do you feel complete? What do you say? He asks if you know yourself to be complete. Truth, I don't. In fact, ever since I woke up in the mortuary, I feel like something's missing, something inside. Phil nods and a series materialise in a halo around him. You are strong, keep faith and you will become whole again. What did he say, Dagon? He says respect to your strength, pays respect to your strength, tells you to keep faith and you should know yourself again. I'll try. I had another question I wanted to ask him. Okay. That was the frames one, wasn't it? You mentioned that he'd met me before. Does he know how I died? Fel does not respond for a moment, then slowly menacingly three symbols materialise above the hitch and then casting a long shadow. Shadows. What did you say, Dakon? Shadows. Shadows? Three symbols that swirl about each other, each leaving a faint black misty trail about them. They take on a ragged edge like teeth and talons and multiply. Where there are 3, there is 9. 9 becomes 27, so the room is a swarm of shadows. Many shadows, they streamed from the darkness, swarmed you, and then left you to die. What did he say, Dakon? He says many shadows came for you. Their reason for taking your life is not known to him. Okay, another question I'll already ask. Can you tell me anything about these tattoos on the body? Vel studies your body for a moment, walking around you. He mirrors each symbol and he examines it, then returns his face. I know them, none are by my hand. What did he say? He says the tattoos are not his. I see, I have no question I wanted to ask him. Can I see what tattoos he has available? Okay, so doing a bit. Let's have a look. I don't think I've got anything here I can sell. I can't afford to identify anything. Fel Studio. These are the tattoos. These are basically the tattoos that we can get. Let's have a look. There's several types of tattoos. We can have up to 3 at any one go. Look, they're quite expensive. We've got Tattoo of the Restless Dead. Folks bless. This tattoo recognises your effort to calm the restless dead in the museum and draw upon their gratitude to bless yourself or your companions. This tattoo has only a limited number of uses before it vanishes. Okay. So that is an event tattoo that, I mean, the strategy guide breaks all these down for me, so I can choose the best options of the ones we got. This one is for clearing the mortuary. It's quite cheap. Then we've got companion tattoos. Tattoo of the skull. For all Morte's faults, having him as a companion makes you seem more capable and not much of a stranger on Sigil streets. As tattoos reinforces that bond, giving you +1 to charisma, and when invoked it also lends you some of Morte's luck. His ability to shrug off anything that would otherwise call him to stop talking, such as paralysation or stunning. Unfortunately, it also gives the user a penalty to their wisdom, which is not hard to understand considering how little Morte has to spare. The tattoo can only call upon its luck ability a limited number of times. When the tattoo's power is exhausted, however, the charisma bonus will remain. So yeah, once that runs out, we still get the +1 to charisma and -1 to wisdom. They are companion tattoos. Then we have stat tattoos. So basically we have Tattoo of Greater Might, Tattoo of Revelation, Tattoo of Spirit, Tattoo of Soul, Tattoo of Action, Greater Action, Tattoo of Health, Greater Presence, Enduring, Greater Enduring, Tattoo of Warding, Tattoo of Accuracy, Tattoo of Bloodletting, Tattoo of Might, Tower of Insight, Tower of Presence. Basically, most of the stats are split into two. You have a lesser and a greater version for each of the 6 stats. For example, we got Greater Might here. This tower increases the unit's strength, making physical attacks more damaging and allowing to carry more weight. This can only be used by fighters. Basically most of the greater versions are limited by class, and we're going to be a mage, so we might want to, so we should bear that in mind. Tattoo of Revelation, for example, this tattoo bolsters the unit's intelligence, allowing him a great chance of gaining memories and aiding his mage skills, so we want to look to get that. Tattoo of the Spirit, +1 of Wisdom. Tattoo has a slight bonus to the unit's wisdom, allowing him a great chance of gaining memories and gaining a percentage of the points earned. Tattoo of the Soul, Bolster Wisdom, Tattoo of Action, and Greater Action. This Greater Action is usable by thieves only. This tattoo bolsters the wearer's reflexes, making him more difficult to hit and added to his thief skills. Tattoo of Greater Health. This tattoo bolsters the wearer's endurance and pain threshold, making him more difficult to take down in combat, which is only usable by fighters. Tower of Great Presence, more impressive commanding given the higher presence and leadership ability. Tower of Enduring, Greater Enduring, usable only by fighters. This tattoo grants the wearer a bonus to health, making it much more difficult to take down in combat. Tattoo of Warding, this is a minor ward against physical attacks, hardens the wearer's skin, making it more difficult to hurt. That's really one that we want. Got Tattoo of Accuracy. This tattoo is 2 comprehensive signs radiating from the centre. When inscribed on the skin, the wearer's perceptions of distance and balance become higher than giving the attack accurately. Tattoo of Bloodletting, +1 damage. This tattoo is barbed whip inscribed on it. When the wearer strikes an opponent, the tattoo flares and the whip takes an extra bite out of the opponent. Insight, Presence. Tattoo of Greater Warding, which is also only used by fighters. This tattoo is a minor ward against physical attacks. It hardens wearer's skin, making them more. So yeah, can't afford any of them, but we've got the options for 3 tattoos. So I want a Tattoo of Revelation. I'm not going to put any more points into intelligence. Tattoo of the Soul is another one. That we're going to go, and we'll probably go with another tattoo as well. Okay, so that's Vel's tattoo study. We're almost done. It's been a long one. So, just one more thing to do.
I'm gone.
You're over here, aren't you? Monster trees. There's monster trees. Oh, you're over here. Monster tree smiles widely upon you. Ah, my friend, you've returned something you wished of me. Yes, I had. Know what I wanted to ask Dakon to help you. Find your request most intriguing. Trees in the hive, like cities in limbo. They will stand as a testament to the will of the people, not to bow to that which surround them and devour them, to take what has been thrust upon them and left behind. I too will care for these trees. Thanks, Dakon. Farewell, monster trees. Okay. There you go. That's done. I'm going to leave that there. This has been Vane doing Let's Play Planescape Torment. If you like what you see in here, be sure to like, subscribe, share and comment. Please consider sponsoring the Patreon, and as always, until next time, goodbye.